everybody. Guess I should start with the mistake that we made with our quail. We ordered enough eggs to have a 50% hatch rate on shipped eggs, and then also a 70% hatch rate of the 50% that should have been viable. That was a miscalculation on our part. We ended up with a 70% hatch rate grand total on all of the eggs. So that to us means that we don't have enough room in our brooder for all of the quails. It's getting really overcrowded as they're growing. So we have to figure something out, and in typical homesteading fashion, we found stuff that we actually have laying around. We purchased this ferret cage. It's a stackable ferret cage. It's 2 pieces. We purchased this at a yard sale back around the when we were hauling our chickens to the state fair and didn't have enough cages. And we found this for 40 bucks at a yard sale, and we're using it to transport chickens, and now we're fixing to make a few repairs and modifications to it to see if we can't house quail in them in brooders, because we do have enough heating pads and such, we just don't have enough room for them. So we're going to modify these to hold 20 in each section of it, and then the other 40 will actually fit in our brooder itself. So stick with us and watch what we're fixing to do. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is, these were broken when we got them. This one was broke, so I need to fix that. And then this one has a hole cut out in it for the ferrets to go upstairs. So I have to block that off because the quail will poop in these trays, and that leaves a big hole for them to either poop on the ground or on the floor or on the quails below them, depending on where they're at. So we're going to do this just real simple since they're really not going to be in these brooders for very long. I'm just going to cover the hole with cardboard and then put this tape on it. I don't know if y'all have seen it, but I mean, tape, you can put duct tape. Once you put it on there, you can pretty much get it wet and it won't leak or anything. So that's how I'm going to fix these. And then here in just a minute, we'll go to the actual cages.
Okay, so I've already pre-cut these this hardware cloth. It's 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. I put a little bend at the front here because I am going to tilt this. You know, in a commercial setting, they have them set about a 10 to 11 degree angle so that when they lay an egg, it rolls forward. We're going to do that to a certain extent, but ultimately, we'd like to see our quail out on grass. So I hope that they aren't still in here when they're still laying eggs, but we don't even know the grass is going to work. So since I'm going to be using these hog clips, it's almost kind of permanent to do so. I'm going to go ahead and put it at an angle just in case they're there longer than we wanted them to be. So ultimately all I'm doing is putting this in here, and go ahead and put this up high. If you've got a big cage like this, understand that we are dealing with something we got lucky enough to find at a garage sale. But you really don't want the distance between the floor and the roof really more than 12, 14 inches because when they get started, they jump up. So if you give them a lot of room, that gives them a lot of room to kill themselves, basically. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this up here about 13, 14 inches from the top probably, and then I'm going to attach it with the hog rings all the way around. My only concern is I haven't figured out yet is how I'm going to support the middle, and we'll get there. So that's that. Now it's supported there. We'll just do this, I don't know, whatever these sections are, but 5 inches or so Do one in each section. Sounds good to me. Alright, so, I mentioned how we're going to support this metal. I mean, ultimately it's not going to sink a whole lot, but I still want to support it. We thought about putting, maybe a 2x4 down here, but the point of all of this is to have easy access to the poop tray down below. And we don't want the 2x4 getting pooped on, and we don't want to have to move the 2x4 every time that we want to remove the poop tray. So what I think I'm going to do, it may be a little bit inconvenient for them. It's kind of like having a post in the middle of your house. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap some wire around this, and then attach it up top to this cage, to the floor of this cage. Now once again, there'll be a poop tray underneath here, so it's not like anybody's going to be getting tangled up on it or anything. But I think if we can keep this straight, then the weight of the feeder and the waterer and all that will not affect this. So I'm probably going to put 2 of these on there, and I think I'll try to remove any sharp edges so that they don't get hurt on them. And I think that's gonna work out pretty good. Okay, so we've got this. Everything looks, I think it's gonna hold up just fine. I've already cut some holes in the back here. What we're going to use here instead of a heat lamp, I personally don't like heat lamps. I think they're a huge fire hazard, and they end up burning birds a lot and all that. What we have here is one of these brooder heaters. As you can tell, it's been used before. But this little thing, I can have the controls on the outside. For right now, I can just lean that up against one of these wires I just installed, and then it's got, for its leg holes, I'll wire this to the top. I want this angled. I don't want this sitting, this is one of those that it came with legs, and you can set it like this for baby chicks, at different heights. If you can see here, what they do is they jump on top, and I don't want it set up like that. And they tend to get too hot anyway. The other option that you have is mounting it to a wall. We're not going to do that either. We're going to kind of mix the two. We don't want them jumping up on top of it, which they won't be able to, and we don't want it flat up against the wall to where they have to huddle. We're going to kind of angle this down. As a matter of fact, we even have the option of going a little lower. I just don't want them back here. Anyway, this is something you might have to play with depending on what kind of cage you've got, but this is a good little heater. It has 2 settings on it, low and high, and in the first beginnings of life, from what we've noticed, they want it on the high, but now it's 70 degrees in our house, and they actually stay away from it even on low. So even with all this ventilation and everything, they still don't want to be around it. So it doesn't take long. I think they're 2 weeks old now, and they're already trying to avoid the heat. I'm going to go ahead and install it though, just in case, and go from there. Alright y'all, there it is. This is our current quail setup. Hopefully it'll work out well. We've got this, which is plenty sturdy to hold up the quail, and the water and the feeder. We've got our heater in the back. We've got our poop trays that are easily removable. Hopefully that won't be an issue as far as if we need to put sand or maybe even pine shavings down here just to hold down on any kind of stink. Anyway, I think this is going to work for a while anyway, until they're old enough to we do the rest of our experiments with them as far as trying to do quail tractors and all that. But there you have it. I guess we're going to go move this into the shop, back into their house, and hopefully they'll enjoy this.
Okay, so So we hope you liked this video. This was just a real quick of how we put our quail cages together with stuff that we had laying around the house. Luckily for us, we do have a lot of chickens, so we have almost everything that we needed to get this accomplished. And I want you guys to stay tuned, because late at night when I'm supposed to be sleeping, I have pondered what I need to do to modify our current chicken tractors to do the same thing with quail, and I think I've got it figured out. So y'all stay tuned, because that one's going to be an interesting one.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.